Tatum and Brown, Giannis and Holiday, Curry and Clay. Who has the most dynamic duo in the NBA? Stick around and find out. Hello and welcome to Fox Sports Lab NBA. I'm your host, Ben Dixon. As always, next to me, the man in the know. I call him a guru and he justifies it every week. Jaymz Clements, welcome.
Thanks, Ben. I'm here and I'm more bubbly than Ted Lasso, you know? Why not? Why not? Let's do it.
You start with a bang every week. Coming up, we zero in on the Celtics juggernaut. We revisit the battle between two young Aussies, and how's this for a challenge? Carlos Boozer and Jaymz will pick their favourite pair in the competition. Boston has been scoring at record pace, Jaymz. The Celtics are red hot right now, but how are they getting it so right?
Mate, they are more red hot than this beard, I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you why. They're so red hot, it's because they can't miss. I think that's like a pretty good thing when you're playing basketball, Dicko, to not miss. But really, seriously, they have the best effective field goal percentage in the league. They've got the best defensive rating in the league. They're hitting 40% of their threes. They're over shooting 41 of them a game, which is just, it's a lot. And if you're hitting a lot, you might remember we talked about Dallas last week. They took a lot, didn't hit that many. Boston, the exact opposite. It's their offensive profile. That's what it's all about. It's all about inside out, surrounding two dominant wings with shooters and nothing but shooters, because they've got Big Al Horford who can drop bombs. They've got shooting on the wings, and they've just unearthed Sam Hauser. Grant Williams is playing out of his skin. But what they've done is they've cut out some of the bad stuff they were doing last year. Most importantly, probably turnovers, but also some weird long twos here and there. And essentially they're just taking better shots, and at the moment making them better than anybody else in the league. It's Derek White is playing great as well. Catch and shoot threes for him have gone through the roof. And that's really what it comes down to. They've just sort of figured out the strengths of their team, figured out the strengths of their superstars, built their offense completely around that, and just sort of gotten rid of the dead wood around it, the sort of bad shots, the ineffective, the inefficient shots. Took better ones and they're hitting them. It's great.
40% on threes, that's enormous. It's such a long season though. Can they keep the offensive blitz rolling?
This is the thing, there's probably a regression to the mean at some point, but because that profile, that word I used before, Dicko, the profile, I love it. It's just so good that they could probably withstand a little bit of a regression. The thing is, they'll bring back Time Lord, Robert Williams, their big centre. So what you might see is a bit of a dip in the shooting because he's not a shooter. You might have to bring him off the bench, but at the same time, you might then see an uptick in their defense on the other side, which is a little bit, lacking compared to last year. But really, it's about their assist to turnover ratio. And if they can sort of keep that down, this offense should be just flying. They've got the best assist to turnover ratio in the NBA as well. So they're just not turning the ball over. They're shooting the lights out. It's a great recipe, right? And that's the way you win basketball games, essentially. Shoot better, play better, don't give the team the other ball, have great assists, move the ball. It's a great way to be really good.
Well, it is. And we're given a glimpse this week of the future. Aussie Dyson Daniels taking the points in a head-to-head clash with our man, Josh Giddey. We've pumped him up all year, but tell us about the role and this rookie Daniels plays in the Pelicans lineup.
I'll tell you what, so earlier this week we saw the vacuum, Dyson Daniels, take on the mop-top Mamba, Josh Giddey. You love to see that. But Daniels really sort of showed off his strengths in that exact game, right? Because his role will be energy guy. Come in, off the bench, play a bit of defense, get some rebounds, get some steals, hit your shots when asked to, and that's exactly what he's doing. I love it, Dicko. He is so good at it right now. He's played 12 games, so his per 36 numbers aren't exactly going to blow you off the page, right? His stats aren't crazy. But as long as he's efficient while he's out there, which he is, that's hugely important for this Pelicans team, because even though he's a really high draft pick, they don't need him to come in and dominate. They've already got CJ McCollum. They've got Brandon Spindles Ingram. They've got the big rig himself, Zion Williamson. They've got weapons. And you can sort of see this with, other dudes like Herb Jones on that team. Play your role and you'll succeed on this Pelicans team because they're wildly dangerous. And Dyson Daniels is awesome at the moment, just fitting in there perfectly. And it was indicative against Giddey earlier this week.
Well, all the positives about the Pelicans. So break it down for us, because are you surprised that they've snuck into the top 4 in the West?
So going into the season, I wouldn't have been. If you had asked me, Jaymz, what do you reckon? Quarter of the way through the season, would the Pelicans be top 4? I'd be like, probably, maybe, let's go. I love them. The Pelicans are great. But then they got this, injury bug, and it's been crazy. I think their best lineup has only played 10 games together so far, and when they've played, they've been unreal. This speaks to how deep they are. The Pelicans, you can almost roll with them game in, game out, just for that little bit of consistency, right? That ideal lineup of CJ McCollum, Ingram, Zion, Herb, and Jonas. I think it's 10 games, and it's just when they've played, they've looked absolutely awesome. But really, what sticks out to me the most, they've got a December ahead for the ages. Like, if they get healthy, come back, they get CJ McCollum back, they have Phoenix 3 times in 5 games.
Wow.
And that's, I think, bracketed in the middle by 2 games against Utah.
Yep.
If they get through just that little gauntlet, they got 15 games. If they go 9-6 in December, they've also got games against the Spurs, I think twice, OKC, and Detroit. We're going to learn so much about this Pelicans team in this month that you're going to love it as well. Like, they're going to be so much fun to watch because they're going to be going hammer and tongs against some of the best teams in the NBA, a couple of the worst, and we're going to get to the end of December and go, hang on a second, I think the Pelicans might be a top 3 team in the West. Watch out, and that's where we're going to go.
Top 3, all right. Well, something else we learnt this week was the Mavs are going to pick up Kemba Walker to boost Luka Doncic's support cast. Has he got the magic shovel to dig them out of Struggle Town right now?
Can he? No. Will he? Also no. Like, Kemba is more cooked than one of my old man's steaks, Dicko. He really is. Like, we saw him fall off a cliff last year with the Knicks, even towards the end of his tenure there with Boston. Look, he'll help in terms of like a little bit of spot-up shooting, a little bit of ball handling there and there, but it's a very, very break in case of emergency kind of vibe, I think, with this Mavs team. Because they need a little bit more ball handling, a little bit more shooting with Jalen Brunson now in New York. They bring in Christian Wood, a big man shooter, I love it. Essentially though, look, he's not going to help. I think that's where we're going to land with that. And like, Kemba's awesome, great teammate, but he doesn't really nudge the needle.
All right, well, what do the Mavs need to do? First of all, get into the top 6, but stay there in the West.
Short answer, trade for Kyrie Irving.
Ooh.
Just give it all up. Apart from, like, keep Luka, keep Christian Wood, try to keep Dorian Finney-Smith. Everything else, Kyrie Irving, let's go. Try to prime away from Brooklyn. Brooklyn try to sell high on him right now. Just go, hey, look, Kyrie's being a model citizen. It's great. Please trade for him. Seriously, like, another move, replace Reggie Bullock in the starting lineup with our man Josh Green. Love him. He's been playing out of his skin lately too. But really, there's got to be another move for another ball handler because without Brunson there now, like, they just don't have enough sort of release valves. Essentially, with just Spencer Dinwiddie next to Luka, they need that one more. And I reckon if you go put all your chips in the middle, go right, that's it. Trade everybody to Brooklyn. Let's get Kyrie, see how that works.
All right, well, Christmas will come early if the Mavs at Kemba can take some responsibility off Luka's shoulders.
The betting brand for sports fans. That's better. Gamble responsibly.